Welcome to HAVAN's Home Buying 101 video series, sponsored by BC Housing and Associate BC Incorporated. My name is Shayne Ramsay and I'm the CEO at BC Housing. I'm speaking with Collette Gerber, Chair of the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, who will share her knowledge on current trends and tips for first-time home buyers. Welcome, Collette. Let's begin by asking you, what are some creative ways that realtors have adapted to the changes caused by COVID-19?
The changes created by COVID forced realtors to catch up with technology, and it's been embraced just wonderfully. We're seeing more virtual tours, we're seeing 3D floor plans, contracts being signed digitally, different things like that. So they've embraced technology.
Thanks, Collette. Let's move on. I want to ask you, how are home tours now working? And do you expect the profession to shift back to more conventional ways post-COVID?
Home tours are working in a different way right now. Realtors are working with their clients, ensuring that they drive through the neighborhood, take a look at the online video if there is one, at all the pictures and so on. And if the property suits their needs and their price point, the realtors are making appointments to take them through the property. It's one of the largest purchases of a person's life, and a lot of us like the touchy-feely experience. Now, going through the property is different in that you're wearing masks and gloves and being very respectful of the seller's homes so that you're not touching anything unnecessarily. As for the future, I suspect there'll still always be open houses. Some realtors just really like doing them, but I think we'll see a hybrid model moving forward.
Thanks. Now I'd like to ask you, what areas of Metro Vancouver and what types of products are you suggesting for potential first-time buyers?
As a first-time home buyer, the very first step that you need to take after you've decided to work with a realtor is to get pre-approved for your financing. So you need to know how much money you can spend. Then working with your realtor, figuring out your wish list that fits in your price point. Then you need to start driving in various areas. There is no one specific area that would be suitable. It depends on how close you want to be from your work, or if you're going to work from home, what some of the amenities are that you might want to have in the neighborhood, that sort of thing. So it's a research project, and driving around the various neighborhoods, West Vancouver, Port Moody, Richmond, wherever, you'll be able to find something that suits your needs in your price point.
Something that's always at the top of everybody's mind, what, in your opinion, are we in a buyer's or seller's market right now?
We are currently at the beginning stages of a seller's market. When the pandemic hit, buyers and sellers, especially sellers, decided not to put their properties on the market. And as the economy has opened up and buyers have returned, sellers are slowly starting to put their properties back on the market, but the demand is higher than the current supply, and that's what puts us in a seller's market.
With the continuing pandemic, what is your expectation around job loss and foreclosure in the real estate industry?
Around job loss, the numbers come in at the end of every month, and they're looking promising that people are slowly returning to work. As far as foreclosures are concerned, it's really too early to tell. Most of the mortgage deferrals were put off to the end of September, and we just need to see what happens later on in the year. But the interesting thing is Canadians believe in home ownership as a whole, and they'll pay their mortgage before they'll go out and buy a new car or go out for dinner or something like that. So we're hoping and expecting that the foreclosures will be very minimal.
One of the most important relationships that a home buyer will have is with their realtor. How does a home buyer go about finding a realtor that is the right fit for them?
Finding a realtor that's the right fit for you means doing a little bit of research, asking friends and family if they have a realtor they've worked with that they really like, talking to people you trust, taking a walk through a neighborhood you like and seeing who the realtors are that typically show up there, and then talking to a realtor, asking the questions. How do they communicate to you? How can they help you find the property you need? Do they have knowledge in the particular market that you're interested in? Those kind of things. So it's a little bit of research.
Thanks, Collette. Another question about the role of a realtor. What can a realtor help with beyond just buying and selling the home?
Oh my gosh. Realtors can help you with almost anything. Because of the industry we're in and the involvement we have in the properties and such, realtors can help you find a mortgage broker or a financial institution to help you get pre-approved if you're a buyer. If you're a seller and you want to do some updates in your home, asking the realtor for information on where to spend your money. Is it worthwhile updating the kitchen or the bathroom, or should I paint? They can answer those types of questions. They can offer opinions on market valuation, what your home could sell for. They can help you find movers and contractors. They're there from beginning to end.
Thanks, Collette. I'd like to move on to ask you about sales trends that you're noticing in the market due to the extremely low interest rate environment that we continue to be in. For instance, are people beginning to buy up now?
The low interest rates have been around for a while, but what we're seeing more than anything is when people are having to work from home and know that this is what their life is going to be for the next while. A lot of people may be thinking about shifting in their space, needing more room for a home office that's quiet, that sort of thing. So we're actually seeing people moving up, moving into townhouses and single-family houses. So there is a little bit shift to more space.
Thanks, Collette. What about condominium sales?
Condominiums are still selling. Condominiums for a first-time home buyer with a smaller budget, condominiums are a great way to start. Also, people who are downsizing, going from their large single-family home, looking for something a little more manageable. Condominiums are a great space to have. So condominium sales are still brisk, but not quite as brisk as some of the other categories.
Thanks, Collette. We're seeing a trend in some other jurisdictions about people buying outside of metropolitan areas. Are we beginning to see this in Vancouver and people buying outside of Vancouver? And if so, are there any hotspots that they're looking at in particular?
There is a trend for people leaving the core of Vancouver and moving out a little bit further, moving out to Langley or Abbotsford. We're not seeing the rush that one might think. Living sort of closer to where the core is always something people want, so they're being very thoughtful about where they're going. As for hotspots, there actually are some. Sunshine Coast, Squamish, and Pemberton have seen unbelievable activity. It's basically gone skyrocketing. So those are hot spots to look at.
Thank you, Collette, for sharing your market knowledge. As discussed, you can find additional information for first-time buyers at the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver's website. And if you found this video useful, please check out my other industry expert interviews in the HAVAN home buying series at Homebuilders Association Vancouver. Thanks for joining us today, and the best of luck in the search for your new home.